Hello, everybody. Saigan Cat here. We're doing something a little bit different today. This is Root. This is in early access. I just found out this is getting a digital port today. I have actually played Root. I've actually played Root a couple of times over the last several years because this was originally a board game. And a friend and coworker of mine who told me, who first got us playing Root in the first place, because he kickstarted it years and years ago before it had even been published as a board game. You let me know that it got a digital version. This is in early access. It's on Steam. It's $15. I think it's going to be coming out for some other stuff. I think a Switch release would be excellent for this. So let's dive in. I expect there's probably going to be more Root on this channel. I think Perry and I are going to play this tonight. So the next video is probably going to be actual gameplay. But this is a really interesting, very fun board game. It looks like they just have the core factions in this so far. So we've got the Wildcats, we have the Mice, we have the Birds, and we have the Raccoon, who's very interesting. He's my go-to when playing. He's the Vagabond. It's neat because it's asymmetrical. Each of the factions have entirely different rule sets and entirely different goals. And a lot of the fun in the game is seeing how those decisions affect the gameplay of everyone else. This is an absolutely fantastic board game. This is something we play whenever he has a game day at his house, and we always have a blast with it. I am through the roof that there's a digital version. It allows for single controller, one screen play, so you can play this on the couch with family members. And it also has online player versus player, as well as you can play it single against the AI. And that's something that I think so many digital board games need. Just board games should have digital editions that you can play against the AI. Because sometimes it's hard to get family members or friends into board games, especially more crunchy ones. Root isn't too crunchy. The rules are fairly simple, especially with these first four factions. The expansions for the board game definitely added some more complicated expansions, like the otters and the moles. Didn't play them myself, but I remember while we were playing, the players who were playing the otters and the moles were having to like reference their rules a lot. They seemed more complex. The crows were a lot of fun. They're kind of like this terrorist faction. Perry loves playing the crows. I think she's going to be disappointed that they're not in here, but I suspect she'll be playing as the LBRY tonight, which are the birds. We're going to start off with the tutorial so you guys can kind of get a feel for what this is like. And then, yeah, hopefully we've got some more videos coming down the road. Maybe set up some game nights for this. We love Root so much. This has been such a pleasant surprise for me today. I'm going to stop gushing about it. $15 on Steam, early access. Fantastic value. Sit your family down, play a few games with them. It's a blast. Also, oh my gosh, it has a tutorial. Thank you. It's got a basics tutorial, and then it's got a tutorial for each of the factions. And this is really important because each of the factions do play very differently from one another. All right, it's the Woodland Alliance, not the Mice. So we've got the Wildcats, the Marquise de Cat. We've got the Bird Dynasty, the LBRY dynasties. I don't know if I pronounced that word right. LBRY? Don't know which one it is. Someone in the comments is sure to tell me. The Woodland Alliance, which is kind of this like rebel faction of various woodland critters. They're usually shown as being mice. And then the Vagabond, who's interesting because unlike these other ones who are like, you know, taking land and building warriors of different kinds. The Lone Wanderer is a solo endeavor who interacts with all of them as a trader. Not a traitor, but a trader. So he can actually go into dungeons and find items and trade them or gift them to different factions to kind of manipulate who is winning. And he can actually align himself permanently with another faction, and if they win, he wins. So that's we'll start the tutorial. I'm really excited, guys. I'm so excited. Welcome to Root, an asymmetric game of warfare and adventure where 4 unique factions struggle for control over the vast woodlands. If you guys hear like traffic going by, I apologize. I live on a busy street. In this scenario, you will play as the ambitious Marquis de Cat. Long before they became the military and industrial powerhouse they are today, the Marquis came into the forest with a small band of warriors and a few modest buildings. I hear the flapping of wings in the distance. Move quickly to establish your hold on the forest before your feathery foes, the LBRY, arrive. Alright, so we gotta move a warrior into a neighboring clearing to expand our rule. This is just gonna show us how, like, the basics of the Marquis de Cat and how they play. They're very much about, it's kind of standard operating procedure for, like, a strategy warfare board game. We want to take areas, gain resources, and make warriors. And that's probably why they're the initial tutorial, and then we'll get more of them in the next tutorial. All right. So we're going to take one of our warriors. You can see that we actually have 3 here. We can move 2 once per turn. So we're going to take one. We're going to run one up over here. Each clearing has a suit representing the community of creatures living there, and this is going to come more into play with future tutorials once we start getting into items and cards. So right here, this is a fox clearing, and then you can see that the Marquis de Cat controls it because it's got this orange flag under it. When you have more buildings and warriors in a clearing than your enemies, you rule it. That's important for some factions, less so for others. It's definitely important for the cats, also important for the LBRY. When you use the march action, you get to make 2 moves. Make another one now. So, because I already did this tutorial, I already have a pretty good idea about where I should be moving people. I'm going to be moving my second cat over here. And we're now ruling 3 clearings, which is going to put us at 3 out of 5. And that's all we can do today, so we're going to continue to evening. We don't really do anything during the evening phase, but other factions will. Our sawmills give us 1 wood at the start of our turn. Wood is used to create buildings. Got our supply right here. We're going to build a recruiter to get more warriors into the forest. Build. We're going to build a recruiter right here. Holy wait, where are we? Yeah. Yeah, let's build a recruiter there. Actually, I feel like I could have done a sawmill there. It's fine. And now, whenever we recruit, we'll get 1 warrior for every recruiter. So you can see how that can kind of build up. Once you have a couple of clearings and you have multiple recruiter buildings, you can kind of start to build up this massive army. All right, and now we're going to spread out our rule a bit. That puts us at 5 clearings. As I feared, an LBRY warrior has seized a nearby clearing. They aren't friendly to outsiders. After 3 actions, the day is finished for the mighty Marquis. And that will be important because we are going to wind up with an additional action here shortly. So our new goal is to defeat all of the LBRY warriors. Now, we do want to get another building going. Let's get a sawmill into place. I did not plan this out as well as I would have liked. Move the map around? Yes, I can. Right-click moves the map around. Excellent. Right. We're going to recruit. And then we're going to move 2 of our warriors over here. And this will allow us to get additional hits in against the LBRY. And also have a bit more survivability in case we get bad rolls. Because combat is decided by dice roll, it definitely favors the attacker. Got another sawmill going, because we're going to want more recruiting. Sorry. Loud truck. we're gonna want more recruiting here shortly. Actually, march 2 of our warriors over. That's why I didn't go with the recruit action, because this is going to be my 3rd action here. You can see how many actions you have left as the marquees right here. Start combat. Pick our opponent, because you can have multiple factions in a single clearing at a time, kind of doing different things. In battle, 2 dice are rolled with sides 0 to 3 to determine hits. The attacker has the advantage. They take the high die, leaving the defender with the lower one. Each player can deal no more hits than the number of warriors they have in the clearing of battle. So it's impossible for the LBRY to actually take out my entire force right here, because I've got 2. Most damage he could do is 1. He could only take out 1 of my guys, and that's pretty unlikely since I have advantage. For each hidden enemy piece is removed from the map, starting with warriors, because buildings also come into play. So we'd get 2 hits in, he gets none, both of my guys survive, his 1 guy is defeated. And now we need to destroy the roost, and the roost is what recruits their warriors. We don't want to leave it for too long. I kind of messed up where I was putting my recruitment stations. I should have just put like 1 over here, but it's fine. We'll start building up over here. So this might be a small problem. This tutorial might go on longer than necessary. Okay, so we take each other out, which is good, because I still have a recruit... No, I don't have anything here controlling it. Which means I've lost control. This is now a neutral clearing. That's fine. I can run somebody over in here and then start building in it. I still control this clearing because I have a building here, which is definitely useful to me. And then I have another move I can make. You can see that my guys can only travel along the roads. Different factions are allowed to move in different ways. For example, I don't know how much the rivers are going to play into it here. And with the board game, there were actually... eventually, there were multiple boards that you could play on, kind of change things up. But, like, the river otters would move along the river. The vagabond can move through the forests. And, of course, the LBRY can fly. I forget how that causes them to move around, because I've never actually played as the LBRY. Played against LBRY pretty much every time we've played. Right, so I still need to move a second one. We have buildings here, so let's move you over here. We're going to use this as kind of our base of operations. Let's build Recruiter will be able to build another recruiter next turn. So we're going to very quickly build up a strong force over here. So worst case scenario, we'll lose one of our cats. So long as the recruiter station is safe, we're good to go. Oh, nothing happened. Well. And we should win this on our next turn. God, I love the art. They did a really good job of capturing the board game art. Like, the board looks like this. The character art looks like this. They did such a great job. What is with these stalemates you're rolling, man? Alright, we're gonna recruit. We're gonna move 2 up to the roost and take it out. Unless we roll double zeros. In which case, I think we'd still take it out because it's undefended. I want to say that that we get an additional hit since it's undefended. Oh yeah. You rolled a number that was higher than the amount of warriors you have in this clearing. That means the hits you earned for your die roll were reduced to the number of warriors here. But I think we also get an additional hit because it's defenseless. Yeah, defenseless, so... There we go. So that's it for the basic tutorial. Victory for the Wildcats. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.